Good morning, 4th grade. Today we are going to be reviewing for our Unit 2 test. We are going to use our study guide and go through the different questions, and we are going to answer them together. Our Unit 2 test will be next Tuesday in homeroom. Our Unit 2 test is going to be about fossils. Let's review for our Unit 2 test. To study for our Unit 2 test, you can use the study guide that is available on our Google Classroom under Test Review. It says Unit 2 Study Guide Updated. When you open up Unit 2 Study Guide on Google Classroom, it will take you to this Google document. In this Google document are several questions that are going to be covered on our test. We are going to continue and answer each question. Follow along with me so that you can add notes to your study guide about fossils. If you complete this activity and also study your study guide, you will be very prepared for our unit test next Tuesday about fossils. Our first question is, what is a fossil? A fossil is a trace, remain, or an imprint of organisms like plants and animals. These traces or remains are found in the Earth's rocks. Now let's find out about the different types of fossils. First type of fossil is a mold. A mold is a fossil that is created by the empty space an organism leaves in the sediment. When an organism makes its imprint, it leaves an empty space based on the shape. That is a mold. Another type of fossil that is very similar to a mold is a cast. A cast and a mold work together because a cast is a 3D fossil that is created when the new layer of sediment fills the empty space in the mold. The new layer of sediment is able to capture similar outline of the imprint that the organism created. A mold and a cast are very similar. The only difference is that a cast is more 3D. Another type of fossil is petrification. Petrification is the type of fossil that is wood that turns into stone over many, many years. Next type of fossil is a preserved remain. A preserved remain is a fossil which the organism remains the same because it is fossilized, or it becomes a fossil in material like ice or tree sap. Preserved remains capture the exact type of organism. Let's learn, what do fossils tell us about the past? First, fossils tell us what food animals ate. Fossils can tell us how old the Earth is based on where the rocks are found. Fossils can tell us in what environments different animals lived. While we are able to learn all this information about fossils, fossils are only an imprint. So fossils do not and cannot tell us the color of the organism. Fossils cannot tell us what color fur an animal had. It cannot tell us what color different leaves were or different flowers. Fossils can only show an imprint of the organisms, and its imprint is usually just the shape. An imprint is just the shape of the organism. It does not tell the color. We also learned about superposition. Superposition tells us that the older layer of rocks are below the newer layers of rocks. So the older rocks are to the bottom and the new layers get added on top. Now we know that superposition. Let's take a look at these different rock layers. There are 9 different rock layers in this plateau. The layers of rocks have built up on top of each other. The Keabab Formation, which is the one at the very top, because of superposition, we know that this is the most recent and newest layer. The Keabab Formation is at the top, and it tells us that it is the newest layer of rock. Now let's think about it. Which do you think is the oldest layer of rock? If you said the Tapeats sandstone, you are correct. The Tapeats sandstone is the layer of rock that is all the way at the bottom. Tapeats sandstone is the oldest layer, and we know that because it is the layer of rock that is at the very bottom, and the other layers of rocks have built up on top of it. Now, we know that there are many different types of fossils. We know that fossils are found in the ground, but who is in charge of finding these fossils? There are 2 types of scientists that study fossils. One scientist that studies fossils is a geologist. A geologist, like we can see in this picture, the man, you can see he is looking and observing the different rocks. A geologist the job of a geologist is to study rocks and learn more about rocks. A geologist works together with a paleontologist. A paleontologist works with the geologist once the geologist finds fossils in rocks, a paleontologist's job is to collect these different fossils and put the different evidence that is found from the fossils and develop and learn more about our Earth's past. Geologists and paleontologists work together by examining and observing different rock material. Once they observe the different rock material, they are able to learn more about our Earth's history. So we have now gone through our study guide. If you were able to follow along in this PowerPoint, we have found the answers to our questions in our study guide. Your job over this weekend is to review the study guide. This study guide will help you prepare for our test on Tuesday. Please remember to go through our study guide and the PowerPoint that I shared with you to prepare for our test on Tuesday. On Monday, I will share with you a practice test to prepare for our test on Tuesday. Since we are having report card conferences next week, there will not be a live stream. However, although there is not a live stream, the lesson will still be available for you on our Google Classroom. You are responsible to checking in our Science Google Classroom on Monday to complete the activity, the practice test that is shared with you. If you are able to complete the practice test, in which I will share the questions and also explain each answer, you will be able to do very well on our Unit 2 test.